Have you ever sensed that there is something off about someone, like an invisible weight in the air, a subtle feeling of unease, as if their presence drained energy from the room? You can't quite explain, but deep down you know. Evil doesn't always arrive with a villain's mask. It rarely announces itself. Instead, it wears a smile, speaks with charm, and often appears helpful at first. These individuals don't need a reason to harm you. They do it because it is their nature. They manipulate, deceive, and control, not through force but through the slow erosion of your confidence, your peace, and even your perception of reality. Stoic philosophy has offered profound insights into human behavior and how we should navigate life amidst trials and moral corruption. One of the most important skills in life is learning to identify those who mean us harm before they get too close, because evil is rarely obvious until it's too late. But here is the good news: evil leaves clues. There are real warning signs that, if you pay attention, will reveal the truth about someone's character. Recognizing these signs will protect not just your peace but your sense of self. In this video, I will take you through 5 red flags that will expose the evil, toxic, manipulative individuals around you. So hit that subscribe button and let's get started. 1. Deceptive Charm. This is one of the most insidious tools of malicious individuals. On the surface, they may seem like the kind of person everyone wants to be around, charismatic, witty, and even outwardly generous. But this charm is often nothing more than a carefully constructed mask designed to manipulate and deceive. Have you ever met someone who seemed almost too good to be true, only to later discover their intentions weren't as noble as they appeared? These individuals use charm as a weapon, knowing that people are naturally drawn to those who make them feel good. They might pay you compliments, offer to help in times of need, or share just enough vulnerability to earn your trust. But beneath it all lies selfishness and a desire to control or exploit others. Their charm isn't rooted in kindness or genuine connection. It's a tool to achieve their own goals. The Stoics, with their unwavering commitment to truth and virtue, remind us to see through this illusion. Marcus Aurelius advises us to focus on actions rather than words, for deeds reveal true character. Have you ever paused to reflect on whether someone's actions match their words? It's easy to be swept away by a charismatic personality, but Stoicism challenges us to look deeper. Are they truly kind, or do they simply want something from you? When you encounter someone who seems overly charming, take a moment to step back and ask yourself, what do their consistent actions say about their character? Do they act with integrity when no one is watching? By shifting your focus from their polished words to their tangible deeds, you empower yourself to see the truth. And yet, this insight doesn't mean you must react with suspicion or cynicism. Stoicism encourages us to remain grounded in our own values and not be overly concerned with the faults of others. Have you ever spent too much time worrying about why someone behaved a certain way, only to find it disrupted your own peace? Instead of fixating on their charm or potential deceit, Marcus Aurelius reminds us to focus on our own virtues. Are you living truthfully? Are you aligned with your values? Ultimately, deceptive charm loses its power when we rely on rational observation and inner clarity. So, the next time you encounter someone whose words dazzle but whose intentions feel unclear, take a moment to pause and reflect. Are their actions virtuous, or is their charm a mask? And more importantly, are you staying true to yourself in how you respond? 2. They lack empathy. One of the most striking and troubling traits of evil individuals is the lack of empathy. These people seem incapable of understanding or caring about the pain they cause others. Have you ever encountered someone who seemed completely indifferent to the suffering around them, as if it simply didn't register? They often view others not as equals or fellow human beings, but as tools, stepping stones to achieve their desires or obstacles to be removed without remorse. This absence of empathy creates a moral void, a space where compassion and connection should reside. It's as though they've shut off the very thing that makes us human, the ability to feel with and for others. But have you ever wondered what might lead a person to this state? Could it be fear, trauma, or a deep disconnect within themselves? While their behavior can be damaging, the Stoics remind us not to let our understanding of their flaws harden our own hearts. Seneca's wisdom offers a guiding light in this darkness. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. Even when faced with those who lack empathy, we have a choice. Will we respond to their coldness with bitterness, or will we uphold our own virtues and remain compassionate? Stoicism teaches us to meet life's challenges with reason and resilience, and this includes how we deal with those who seem void of humanity. When you encounter such individuals, it's easy to feel anger or resentment. But does reacting in this way serve your higher self? The Stoics would say no. Anger clouds judgment and pulls us away from the path of virtue. Instead, they encourage us to view others' shortcomings with a sense of understanding, not to excuse harmful behavior, but to avoid being consumed by it. Have you ever tried responding to someone's cruelty with patience, only to find it strengthened your own peace of mind? Recognizing a lack of empathy in others is also a reminder to cultivate it within ourselves. How often do we miss opportunities to connect, to show kindness, or to listen deeply to those around us? While we may never change the hearts of those who are indifferent to others' pain, we can ensure that their absence of compassion does not infect us. Ultimately, their lack of empathy says more about them than it does about you. Protect yourself by setting healthy boundaries, but don't let their behavior erode your belief in humanity. In the face of their indifference, choose to uphold the values that Stoicism holds dear: compassion, kindness, and wisdom. By doing so, you preserve your own humanity, no matter how cold the world around you may seem. 3. They will exploit you. Exploitation is a hallmark of manipulative individuals who prioritize their own ambitions above everything else. These people are adept at masking their true intentions with kind words and gestures, luring others into a false sense of trust. Have you ever encountered someone whose actions didn't match the warmth of their words? Over time, their behavior often reveals a transactional mindset where relationships are merely tools for achieving their own desires. For those who exploit others, there is no room for genuine connection or mutual respect. They measure people by what can be gained from them, whether it's power, influence, or material benefit. Stoicism teaches us to recognize such behaviors for what they are, not through suspicion, but through rational observation. As Epictetus reminds us, don't trust the judgment of someone who doesn't act virtuously. Their actions, not their words, show who they are. It's a call to focus on deeds, which reveal a person's true character. Have you ever paused to reflect on someone's consistent actions rather than their promises? The Stoics viewed relationships as opportunities to embody fairness and respect. To live a virtuous life, they believed one must treat others with dignity, regardless of the situation. But how do you respond when faced with someone who sees you only as a means to an end? The answer lies in staying grounded in your own principles. Do not allow their actions to dictate your behavior. Instead, set boundaries that safeguard your peace and integrity. Have you ever found yourself drained or diminished by someone's exploitative tendencies? That feeling is often your inner wisdom signaling the need to protect your space. It's important to remember that your worth is not defined by how others treat you. The manipulations of others reflect their character, not yours. Stoicism teaches us to detach from external judgments and focus on what we can control: our responses, our actions, and our values. By standing firm in your principles, you refuse to play into their schemes. Have you ever experienced the power of saying no to someone who sought to take advantage of you? That single act of self-respect can be transformative. Exploitation thrives on imbalance of power, trust, and boundaries. When you recognize these patterns, you can step back and reassess the dynamics. The Stoics encourage us to act with reason and clarity, refusing to be swayed by flattery or intimidation. By staying true to yourself, you resist being pulled into someone else's web of manipulation. In the face of exploitation, choose to rise above. Stand firm, protect your values, and let your actions reflect the fairness and respect you wish to see in the world. For constant lies and deceit. This red flag is among the most destructive tools wielded by manipulative individuals. These people have a twisted relationship with truth, using dishonesty as a means to achieve their own ends. Have you ever encountered someone who seemed to effortlessly twist reality, making you question what you once knew to be true? Such individuals thrive on creating confusion and doubt, making it easier to manipulate those around them. Lies are their currency, exchanged to gain power, control, or influence. They weave falsehoods into their narratives, distorting facts and eroding trust. This behavior is not only harmful but deeply unsettling, as it undermines the foundation of meaningful relationships and societal harmony. Have you ever found yourself caught in the web of someone's deceit, struggling to distinguish their lies from reality? The Stoics revered truth as a fundamental pillar of wisdom and virtue. To stray from truth, they believed, was to stray from the path of reason. Marcus Aurelius offers us a powerful reminder: never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Reason and clarity are the antidotes to deceit. When confronted with lies, turn to logic and evidence. Do their words align with observable reality? Do their claims hold up under scrutiny? It can be tempting to react with anger or frustration when faced with deceit, but Stoicism teaches us to remain calm and centered. Have you ever noticed how liars often rely on emotional reactions to further manipulate or distract others? By staying grounded, you deny them the power to control your peace of mind. Instead, anchor yourself in truth, both in your thoughts and actions. While lies can create chaos externally, they hold no power over your inner world unless you allow them to. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can control how we respond. Have you ever found strength in holding onto your integrity, even when surrounded by dishonesty? By remaining committed to honesty, you not only protect yourself but also set an example for others. Ultimately, deceit reveals more about the liar than it does about those they attempt to deceive. Their need to manipulate stems from their own insecurities, fears, or misguided ambitions. Recognizing this allows you to approach such situations with clarity and compassion while maintaining your own boundaries. When you encounter deceit, remember that the truth will always endure, and your steadfast commitment to it is the greatest defense against those who seek to distort it. 5. They enjoy chaos, a taste for suffering. The enjoyment of chaos is one of the most unsettling traits of malicious individuals. These people seem to take a twisted pleasure in creating harm, discord, or suffering. Have you ever encountered someone who seemed to thrive in moments of conflict, as if they fed off the distress of others? For such individuals, chaos is not something to resolve or avoid. It's a tool for asserting power and control. Their ability to disrupt becomes a source of satisfaction, a way to dominate or weaken those around them. This behavior often points to a deeper disconnection from virtue and humanity. To take pleasure in the suffering of others is to lose touch with the core values that guide a meaningful life: compassion, fairness, and justice. Yet, it's important to remember that their delight in harm is not a reflection of your worth. Instead, it exposes the turmoil within themselves. What kind of pain or emptiness must they carry to find solace in hurting others? Stoicism offers us a path to navigate such encounters without losing our peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This wisdom teaches that while we cannot control the actions of others, we have complete authority over how we choose to respond. Have you ever found strength in remaining calm while others tried to provoke you? By refusing to engage in their chaos, you deny them the power they seek. When faced with someone who enjoys creating harm, the greatest challenge is not to stoop to their level. Have you ever felt the temptation to retaliate against someone who caused you pain, only to later realize it only escalated the conflict? Stoicism advises us to rise above, to act with rationality and virtue rather than being drawn into the storm they create. Their actions are not a measure of your character but a reflection of their inner struggles. Chaos may surround you, but it does not have to take root within you. The Stoics teach that your peace is yours to protect, and no external force can strip it from you without your consent. By choosing calmness, clarity, and self-control, you become immune to the harm they seek to inflict. Have you ever noticed how disarming it can be to respond to hostility with composure? This is the essence of Stoic strength. Ultimately, their enjoyment of chaos is their burden, not yours. Their actions reveal a life out of alignment with virtue, and while you cannot change their choices, you can ensure they do not disturb your inner equilibrium. Let their chaos pass through you like a storm through an open field, leaving no trace behind. By staying true to your values, you preserve your humanity and rise above the darkness they bring. In a world where deception, chaos, and malice can sometimes overshadow kindness and virtue, remember that your power lies in how you choose to respond. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control how you navigate them. As the Stoics teach, your peace, integrity, and humanity are your greatest defenses. Let these challenges be opportunities to practice wisdom, strength, and clarity. Rise above the noise, hold fast to your values, and refuse to let the actions of others define your path. Ultimately, your character will shine brighter than any shadow cast by those who seek to harm. Stay grounded, stay true, and live with purpose.